So how we doing? It's been, what, 6-8 weeks since we've seen or talked to each other? So how are we doing? What's going on? Got the name, not the game. Look at that. All right. So what's the deal, right? I mean, I know what the record book says. I know what the stat book says. I know the temperature in this room is different than it was when I walked in here a few months ago. I can just feel it, right? So where we at? What's going on with the Weber Warriors? Anybody? Bueller? We cannot close a game. Okay, tell me more. Players are selfish, okay? Got it? Got it. Players are selfish. We cannot close a game. Anybody else? Go ahead.
Teams we play to our competition.
Teams we play to our competition, like travel ball playing to rec ball, right? Like playing down to people. Is that what you're talking about?
When we went to Louisiana, we knew that we had nothing to lose because those teams, record-wise, were better than us. So we were like, let's go out and just ball out. We have nothing to lose. But when we come back here, we play teams like Fort Lauderdale. Yesterday played Thomas, and we were like, oh, it's just Fort Lauderdale. They're a 3-year program. Like, they've only been a program for 3 years. Yesterday, oh, it's just Thomas. They barely beat Warner. They just barely lost to Southeastern. It's just Thomas. Well, just Thomas beat us. Like, we play to our competition.
Right, so the game doesn't care who you are, right? The game does not care who you are, right? It's going to tell you to throw from 43 feet. It's going to tell you to run 60 feet 4 times in order to get to home plate. It's going to tell you if you want a home run, you got to hit it over 200 feet. And it's going to tell you that every girl that steps into the field wants to win. At least the 9 on the field that the coach sees, and the intensity and the fire and all of that, right? If it's all going the way that it wants to, right? You have to be able to take that and not be selfish, right? And give intent. That's the biggest thing that takes focus away, is just thinking what you said. They're this, so I can be this. On paper, we should win all day long, right? On paper, we should do it because you sat in the garage and your dad was on Game Changer going, if we just do this and we just do that, and this, that, this, that, and this. So now we've gotten accustomed that if somebody says their record is, I mean, look what happened just yesterday, right? We're going for 3 Super Bowls in a row, something nobody ever did before. We beat them 2 years ago. Okay, on paper, we should have done this, right? Well, knick-knack, paddywhack, give the dog a bone. You just got spanked and they sent your butt home, right? That's what happens. So mindset mentality, you like that one? Mindset and mentality, right, says that we have to stay focused. That's the hardest thing to do. Consistency is what takes you to the championship circle, right? If I do something one time and it sucks and I don't try it again, depending upon, right, I'm always going to think that this is terrible. If I attempt something and I can't get past this wall, if I can't get past this spot, well, then I must suck and something must be wrong. No, you've tried it one time. The first time you got onto a bike, you fell over. The second time, a little better. The third time, you were riding okay. The fourth time, you were doing wheelies. The first time I put you on a field, you were running the bases backwards, chasing butterflies and building sandcastles. Maybe you should get back to that mentality again, because the game can be as fun as you let it. You're in a lion's den. Just telling you, a bunch of warriors, right? So as warriors, you have to come together and figure out what is, I said in the beginning, what is your purpose, right? Okay, if you're letting your record dictate your mentality, then you're going to have a very tough season. If you're letting what happens in this game to affect what happens in the next game, how many we got left? 40-some, right? Because and again, I looked at it a little bit online when I came here. Maybe everything wasn't updated. Have you played conference games yet? Right. So then just like everything else, when the next pitch comes, does it really matter what's happened to this point? I don't know exactly how your ranking works, right? Outside of a little personal pride, outside of a little poor me, outside of everybody can't get it together, because here's what's happening. When I put pressure in the pipe, you got one coach on one end, you got another coach on another end, you got one in the middle trying to hold everything into that pipe, right? You have all these little pressures moving all over the place going, I want to get out, I want to get out, I want to get out, I want to get out. And eventually the pipe can't take it no more and it breaks because everybody wants to make their contribution now, or everybody doesn't know why they're here, or everybody is moving in a direction that says this is where I want to go instead of where are we going. You understand what I'm saying? You got something?
I gotta add, like, I just feel like everyone's out for each other's necks. Like, this is a team. Like, we're supposed to be sisters. We're supposed to be, like, loving and caring. And, yeah, like, on the field, like, it is a competition, and, like, you should be aggressive, and you should want it. But I just feel like there's too much talk off the field, and not enough backing it up on the field. That's what I was gonna say. All bark, no bite.
Right, okay. So all bark, no bite, right? So let me shift that, right? I love that, right? Talking off the field, not performing on the field, right? So how we become a team, how we become a unit is when we put somebody up for a qualification and they can't quite get that, right? We don't, even if they're working hard or not working hard, or they're doing something or not doing something, right? We shouldn't be talking off the field anyway unless we're talking in a group trying to come to problem, solution, right? If you're not solution mindseted, right, here's where I'm at, okay? So I don't know who, I'm not asking you to call anybody out, right? That's not all what we're here for today, unless y'all want to get into that, right? But the point there is you have to not talk about others. Bring the problem. Hey, it sounds right. My mother, right? I'm gonna bring her in it. She calls it psychobabble BS, right? She's like, I don't know, just okay, Mom. Well, cool. All I'm saying is let's talk. Let's communicate, right? You say you're all of this, but your this says something else. How do we become a team and a unit? I bring the problem to you. Hey, look, this is what I'm seeing. This is where I'm at. Look, if 5 of you here all see the same thing and come to one person and say, this is what we see, how we think we can get better, it then isn't personal, right? And if they take it personal, sometimes people just want to be heard and in their feels and in the moment, right? Okay, what else is going on? What else is going on that's got you frustrated?
Energy.
Energy.
So, when something goes wrong, we'll kind of get down. But say we're gonna get out a lot. That's just softball. Say our
At least 21 times.
grounds out. If we keep the energy up, our second batter has a chance. But if we're all just dead, it's gonna be even harder for her to get a hit because there's no energy behind her. If she's energized, like, I'm ready to go. But if it's quiet, it's like, I got this, maybe. But I feel like just energy, which we have good energy, but containing it for 2 games, 2 whole 7 innings games.
Yeah, I love that, right? I mean, that's the same argument and same problem that you heard your coaches say in 12U, 14U, 16U, right? And in 10 and 12U, you hear coaches go, come on, girls, cheer, be louder, right? This is where you're at. You're here now. I said this in week 1. You are here now. You are the girls that they talk about. You are the ones who sign autographs. You're the ones that get on the buses and get to go to Louisiana. You're the ones that get to go here and there. You're the ones that get to graduate. You stood there with the cool picture, right? With your little Warrior shirt on or whatever you had when you were signing, and you felt in that moment, how great is this? How awesome is this? Look at what I've done. Mom's here, Dad's here, Grandma's here, Uncle's here, Larry's here, the newspaper's here. I got a t-shirt, they got a hat. People are now, okay, great. It's over now? That's it? It's fleeting with the wind? We don't have to show up every day and earn it. We don't have to show up every day and work. We don't have to show up every day in the gym. We don't have to show up every day in the class because this is what you wanted. This is what you signed your name on. This is what you said. It's like if we were 7 and 2, are we having this conversation right now? A little bit, because there's always, you got 50 people, there's always going to be some waves in the boat, right? But you're letting records, failing, emotion dictate the rest of your season. See, a lot of you are shaking your head, right? So who affects change? The people that want to change, right? So some of you on here are clear leaders, right? So lead. And those who don't want to be led will leave the flock and they will go somewhere else, right? So how do we get better? How do we finish games? How do we keep it going? You just do. Right, let me tell you something. I woke up this morning at 5:30. I went to the gym. By 6:30, I was getting my wife's coffee and breakfast. By 7 o'clock, I was on my way to my restaurant. I was there till 9:30. I went back home, picked up my mother. I took her to 2 doctor's appointments. Then I left there and I went to softball practice at Tampa Catholic for 2 hours. Then I drove here after my wife met me at school to bring you your tacos. I drove 2 hours here. I'm talking to you. I'm going to get on a phone call and a Zoom with 30 other girls younger than you that one day want to be here with you. Then I'm going to drive 2 hours home, set a couple PGF appointments. I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and do it again. If you want greatness, you will make no excuses. You will climb every wall. You will go over every mountain. And you will do every daggum thing that is supposed to be done. And if you don't, then you're just noise. You're static. You stick to me like electricity. And as soon as I break it, you're gone. That's it. Give me a shock for a little bit and then you move on. Right? This is life, right? If you can't finish a game, you're not going to finish an assignment. You're not going to finish a job. You're not going to finish the real things that you're going to get paid for. You're not going to finish the hard times in a relationship. You're not going to finish things in communication. You're not going to finish your resume, your homework, the car ride home. You're not going to finish any of it because you quit when it gets hard. The heart is where progress is made. The heart is where adjustments are made. The heart is where you move to. If you live in easy land, you don't know how to handle the hard. When you handle the hard the right way and you listen to what it's trying to teach you, make those adjustments. 2 and 7, who cares? Who cares? Who freaking cares? It doesn't matter. When you walk out the door, you have a decision to be 3 and 7, 4 and 7, 5 and 7, 6 and 7, 7 and 7, 8 and 7, 9 and 7. Who cares? Or you can sit here and you can go, she's mean. I don't like it. And she's late. And she's this. And I don't know, she better not. And Coach likes her. That's one of his favorites. I know it. Who cares? Show up, outwork, outlast, outplay, outmaneuver, outrun. When the man has you do an exercise, be crawling across that finish line. Crawling across it. I was talking to a girl the other day. I'm like, when your coach has you run a lap, where are you in the pack? I'm talking about not, hey, we're all going to run together and learn as an exercise. I'm talking about, do you ever have them just dog a lap? You do what you want, right? But just dog a lap, right? And just see what happens, right? And there will literally be girls in the middle that will not pass the girls in front of them because they don't want to feel like they're showing off. They don't want somebody saying something to stop that garbage. Don't let anybody's thought, presence, process, or anything limit you from where you're supposed to go. Period, Pooh. Come on, girl. I had you. We was right there. We was right there. But that's what I'm saying though, right? Like we too often, we think we're more important than we actually are. Well, if I do this, they're gonna think this. If I do this, no one's thinking about you. Wait, one sec, oh, is that a bing, 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 right? When you go home, you're thinking about people thinking about you, but no one outside of grandma, mom, and maybe a close friend is thinking about you. Just saying, right? Your impact has as long a last as your next impact. That's it, right? So who cares? So we're 2 and 7. Who cares? Right? Is your mentality, I'm going to go out on the field? Okay, I'm 2 and 7. Here we go. Get that work. All right. Yep, coach, I'll get some swings. Okay, then you are guaranteed to be 2 and 8, 2 and 9, 2 and 10. All them conference things, right? All the seniors are now, this is what I played my whole life for. All the juniors are going, what the heck's going to happen next year? All the sophomores are going, what? Freshmen are like, dang, we didn't even get a chance. Like, what happened? right? Or maybe they did because we're 2 and 15 and everybody else is watching from the bench. You control what happens when you go left, right, left, keep it in step. Your action, your attitude, your motivation, your mindset, no one controls you, hit them with the A-E-I-O, boom, you. No one controls you but you. You show up to a bullpen, you decide if you really put some spin in it or you just go, okay, 1, okay, 2. You show up to the batter's box, you decide if I'm really focused, where do I want the ball, where's my grip, how's my hands, what's my timing, somebody watch me, what adjustments do I make? You decide if when I'm practicing, I just field the ball and throw it for fun, so that way in the game when it really matters, I overthrow the first baseman because I don't work as hard in practice as the game expects me to. That's it. I'll show you a group of 14 to 18-year-old girls that ran a mile this afternoon at 3:30 after a whole day of school, and they have only 9 minutes to finish that mile. That's it. I did the timer on the first one. Everybody finished in 9 minutes. We set a standard. That's it. That's it. We're done. You live that life. You're done. That's the standard. The slowest kid is 9 minutes. We will never be slower than that again. The next one, we will go 15 seconds. We have to move up. The next one, we'll go 30 seconds. We have to move up. Everybody is tasked with improvement. If you do not improve, you get to snooze because it's nap time and we ain't playing. You build a championship culture. That's it. And those that aren't consistent, see ya. Right? Like, we can improve. I want to see consistent improvement. I don't expect everybody here to be an All-American. He'd be a master recruiter if you were. I don't expect that. I expect everybody to show up every day to work like an All-American. There's a difference. That's it. Other than that, you're just listening to me, right? The same thing applies. 30% of you are in here like, yeah, I love hearing this guy talk. This is a lot of fun, right? This guy gets me working. 30% of you are sitting in here still going, man, that's some good tacos, but I can't wait till he shuts up, right? And it's the other 40% in here that are gonna make the difference and carry you, because that makes 70% of the team. So which 70% are you? Do you want to win? Do you want to be all in? Do you want to show up with intent? Do you want to be the example? Or do you want to go, well, I coach West down there. He ain't won a game in the last 4 months, and I know it's hot in Miami, so we got this one. We're good. No. Dude, I want that guy. That guy is dead. He's done. I'm destroying that team. If we ain't out by the 5th inning, something's wrong. Just using that as an example, don't know anything about that team particularly, but that's the mentality. Sharks in the water. As soon as I taste blood, you're done. That's it. That's it. And if you're attacking it with anything else, why are you here? What are you here for? Are you here because you don't want to go, hey, Mom and Dad, I know you got that picture, and boy, Grandma sure was happy that day, but this was really your dream the whole time, and I never really wanted to do this. So if I could go ahead and be done now that I'm 21 years old, that would be great. Some of you are afraid to make that phone call, and it shows in the way that you perform, and the way that you play, and the things that you do. And I don't know anything about any of you. But when you get enough people in a room, not everybody's here because they want to be, right? So his job is to find out who those people are, put them on the field, and hopefully produce some wins. But all of that changes when we can focus with intentional effort to do not just the drill, but improve the skill, improve the mindset, improve what we're doing, where we're going, and why we're here. Does all that make sense? I know that's a lot, right? But, I mean, it's literally like, if you gave as much intentional, and I'm not talking about when you get an assignment and you can wait till the last minute because you know this subject. I'm talking about the one that kills you. Whatever your college class is that kills you, whether it's math, physics, science, chem, whatever it is, right? In order to pass that class, you cannot give average effort. You cannot just show up, listen to the professor talk. You cannot just go, okay, here's my test. Like, you have to put focused study time into that. We all kind of have that class, right? For me, it was math. 2 + 2 = 4, and that's all I needed to know. You want to give me an X, Y, and a Z? It's not for me, G. You understand what I ain't doing? None of that, right? So your job, she love you, I love you. Your job is to figure out, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? How are we all collectively going to get there? And that's it. And that starts with your leaders stepping up, right? And kicking him out and kicking me out if you haven't done this already. And shutting the door and going, hey, guess what? 24 women in here, 34 women in here, we need to figure it out. I didn't come here for this, right? Because only you, like Smokey the Bear said, can prevent forest fires. Only you can fix this, right? It's like a coach yelling from the sidelines, be louder. What does that mean? You want me just to scream running in a path? Or you want me to talk educated? Do you want me to understand the game? What do you want me to do when you say be louder? He's a guide, but you are the crew. If the guide tells the crew to row forward, but the crew doesn't do what the guide is saying or whatever and they row backwards, we're going the wrong direction. We're doing the wrong thing. So a leader has to emerge and correct the crew, or you're gonna have 30% that buy in and go, this is my team, it's great. Just using examples here. 30% that go, whatever, 50 more games and we get to hit the portal, mortal. You understand what I'm saying? And then you got 40% in the middle that go, okay, how do we figure this out? Am I here? Am I there? What am I doing? And all that comes from talking, communication, and understanding. You got another one?
So I feel like we're all good friends off the field, but like it doesn't translate to the game. Like on the field, it's like straight or great. No one talks, no one communicates, no one stands out of like, oh wow, this girl talks a lot. Like this girl's talking this game up, like it's on fire because talking her up. I just feel like we don't have that on the field, but we have that like in our friendships and our relationships with each other. Like it's there, it's possible. I just don't think it translates to the field.
Okay.
I think for me, it's a lack of respect. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't have respect for each other. Like, oh, you make an error. Oh, okay, you're done. You suck. In my brain, you automatically suck. But it's like, no, you have to have that, like, love and respect for each other to truly be one team. Like, when people will talk after meetings or, like, say something, I don't feel like everybody's all in all the time. And it's like, all I'm asking for is just, like, 5 minutes of your time to show me just a little bit of respect. Like, that's all I'm asking for. And I think that people underestimate how much that you can learn from each other. Like, I've learned so much from my competition right there. The girl that's starting with me, TT, right there. And I learned so much from her. And I feel like people underestimate how much you can learn from your starters in your competition. Like, I learned so much. And I feel like that respect just isn't there. It just isn't there.
Okay.
I feel like, I'm not saying you guys are soft and everything, but I feel like some of our leaders are fine being complacent and they think, oh, I'm already going to start. I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about that. But then when the time does come, somebody starts over them, they go off. They start whispering and then they preach 24/7 about how we need to be a team, how we need to support one another. But they're the people that are whispering in the back because they're not starting or they're not doing this right because of all that.
Go ahead. Sorry, I'll come to you next. Sorry, go ahead.
I think collectively as a group we take it too serious. I think because it's serious and everyone wants to do good, everyone wants to play good. But when we went down when we were playing at Thomas, we had like a 20-minute break where we didn't do anything because they were hitting, we had already thrown, and we were joking around with each other, we were dancing, we were playing, and we were still like excited to play the game. And then as soon as we went over the cages, it's, we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do this. Everyone here got here. We're here. We know how to play the game. We know how to warm up. I think once we get into softball, everyone's like, we need to do this and this and this and this. And it's like, if everyone just relaxed and breathed and loosened everything, I think that we would be able to gel so much quicker because everyone is like, oh, I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to do this. I don't have to do anything. You have to play your spot, but you have to do it for everyone else. And that's just not something that a lot of the girls on this team can do. like they take it too seriously, and then they think I have to do it all perfect, and you don't. You have someone else to lean on, whether it's someone your age, someone younger, someone older. Like you have 40 girls, pick someone.
All right, let me touch on a couple things because I start to lose stuff as it goes over, right? Okay, so give me your part in the beginning again.
How we have great like friendships and relationships off the field, but
Right.
when we get on the field, it's like a whole different team.
Got it. Okay, so couple reasons that can happen. One, you think you have great relationships off the field because you're only hanging out with certain people who are your friends and not the whole team. And then when you get on the field, you see this other set of people that appears to be combative to you because they're not people that you hang out with. So unless you're hanging out with everybody on the team off the field, it would make sense that your softball friends off the field are friends because you're primarily outside of the game probably hanging out with the people that you actually like and don't want to have any conflict because you have enough when you come to the game. I'm not saying you don't love everybody. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying, I'm saying I get your message. Your message is I love everybody. I just want some peace, right? I want to be able to get along in both places, right? Okay, and give me yours again. The first one, I know you had your hand raised again.
Our leaders are complacent and they're fine just sitting in their room.
Yeah, right. So attacking that, just kick them out the bubble. Who decides who a leader is? The leader's for everybody. If a leader is not leading, then they're gone, right? Because, and again, if you have certain policies that determine who your leaders are, I got you. I'm coming back. I got you. But again, I don't know who everybody's. I know the first week we were here, we pulled one out that everybody kind of agreed was. But things, whatever, right? If it's the same people, great, right? But leaders emerge and leaders fall off, right? You'd like to think that the same person can lead throughout a whole season and do what they need to do, and sometimes they do, and that person is accountable, and but if your leaders, first off, aren't leading, one, that will eventually rise and become evident enough, right? Because things will kind of get chaotic and things will kind of go off to the side, right? If we're always, when we're getting ready for the game in slow motion, then we will always be panicked when the game starts. I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta go here, okay, that's a preparation, right? That's lack of preparation, right? Because if I'm warming up for a game, guess what? Been there, done that, still doing it. I should know how to show up to a field. Where am I at? Am I at a school that's got cages? Here's my cage time, here's my mound time. I don't know how all the fields are. Am I at a school that doesn't have cages? Who's got the bow nets? What time are we meeting? Okay, these people are throwing, these people are hitting, these people are doing this. I'm gonna tell you, as a travel ball coach, I never showed up to workouts, to warm-ups, ever. And if I did, it was just, hey girl, what up? How you doing? Everything okay? What's going on? Right? So you should be self-accountable to standards and processes, right? If I have a standard, we're all gonna get here an hour and a half before the game. You people are responsible for this. You people are responsible for this. You people are responsible for this. Once I hand out task-oriented assignments, it's clear to see who's not in. It's clear. I'm not guessing anymore. I've told the North Pole I'm traveling north, and guess where I ended up? Nope, I ended up north. Ho, ho, ho. It's a Merry Christmas. You understand what I'm saying? Right? Because I had intentional direction. This is what you're doing. This is what a leader is. Not somebody who shows up at the last minute and goes, ah! You got that wrong. A leader is somebody who a week before says, Coach, is there a bus schedule? Where are we going? What are we doing? What's on the practice plan for this week? How can I let my team know what's being done? And then they go into whatever means and modes of communication that you have, and they say, hey, this is where everybody needs to be for the bus. This is what we're doing. This is where we're going. You people, I don't care if you go group 1, group 2, group 3. Now you got this group's in for this assignment. This group's in for this. Leaders lead. Right? And leaders can continue to emerge. My freshman right now, there might be a great leader in there. Maybe by the time she's a sophomore, junior, maybe now she's leading. Okay? I might have a senior that thinks that they're a leader just because they're in the 12th grade and they might not know how to lead a mouse out of a wet paper bag. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't even know who the people are, but my point is, go ahead.
I have one captain. That's it. So anybody else that is a leader, like, you guys don't follow people that you don't want to follow. You know, like, I've always said you don't need a title to be a leader. But I'm also here to say that a boss is not a leader.
Right.
Someone can't stand on a mountain and say I'm a leader without turning them to the sides and seeing if she has any followers.
Right.
So, I don't know who they're speaking of, and then like you said, kick him out, kick me out. That's what they should be doing.
Right.
I told them today, it's not about me. It's about
Right.
you guys.
And see, the thing is, Coach, they don't even realize who they're mad at.
Yeah.
Because every set of 5 kids are mad at another person. Great. I feel it. Great. We can listen. I do group sessions, so we can work this out individually. It's all good. I'm not a licensed therapist, but I'm a therapist who's licensed. All right. Yes, go ahead.
I think that there's a lot of excuses being made for reasons we aren't doing something or reasons we're not doing something
Stop.
well, whether it's an internal excuse or an excuse put on to someone else. And I think that also kind of tones like our ability to play down, because whenever you're not taking accountability for it, you're usually not doing something to fix it because you're putting the blame on, oh, well, they did this, which caused me to do this, or oh, I did this, so
Yeah.
I'm not performing because of this reason. And I just think that there's a lot that's being made.
So, if I can give one piece of advice to every single one of you, right? Every time someone has said that there's a problem on this team, they've led with someone else. She's done this. She's done that. She's done this. This person hasn't done that. This person does this, right? The easiest way to correct team culture is to understand the standard and individually rise to it. And then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? Right now, everybody is problem-based. What is the problem? What is the problem? What is the problem? And I love it, we're identifying it, right? So now, you have to figure out solution-based, right? If I walk into a room, right, and I was kind of figuring this would be a little bit of the tone, right? Because it's like I said, we were excited a couple of months ago, right? And then we were following, and then we've played a couple games, and now, well, if only all of these girls would get their stuff together, my team would be just fine, okay? If only everybody else in the room would fix their sugar, we would be sweet. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So I ask you to find a mirror, do some reflection, positive reflection, deep, right? Where am I? What am I doing? What do I bring to practice, right? That mild dog that I was talking about, right? If you are not absolutely killing it to the point, I'm talking about a mile, 4 laps around a track. Come on, unless you have a medical excuse, you carry some inhaler, you got some lungs and all that, fine. But if you're an able-bodied student athlete, right, then I'm talking about when you go out on that mile, right, if you can't finish it, fine. Right? It was just 4 years ago, I was 215 pounds. I ran a mile in 16 and a half minutes. Right? Life gets you every which way that you want. Sometimes everybody's 2 and 7 in life, and you want to blame everybody else, go everywhere else, do everything else, and kind of make sure that it's everybody's fault but my own. And I'm telling you, the quickest way that you can fix any woes that you have on a team is 2 things, right? Win, okay? Just like sales in business fixes everything. What's your overhead? Doesn't matter. Make more sales, get more, that's the way it works, right? If we're 7-2, you guys are going, oh, I don't know. What's up, coach? Those are some good tacos. Everything's great, man. Those 2 really made us mad. Those were bad. I didn't really like those, right? So because we're 2 and 7, right, think about it. This is how you've been trained. It's the umpire's fault. It's the other team's fault. It's not my fault. Can you believe that kid did that? I told coach not to put her in. So all you've been talked to on these rides and homes and all that stuff is to hear the problem. And I'm telling you, right, giving you an issue to fix it, giving you a way to fix it, right? Literally, right? Don't let one person in here fill this out, but take that piece of paper and fill it out, right? Write down what your personal problem is on this team. What are you don't have to name anybody, what are you upset with? Right? If I got 35 pieces of paper and 30 of them have the same thing on it, we've identified a cultural issue. And now we attack that, and that's where we put our energy. It's simple here. It's internal reflection. You don't like your leaders? Lead. You don't like who's hitting? Hit better. You don't like who's fielding? Field better. You don't like who's talking? Stand up and talk. You don't like who's outworking you? Outwork them. You don't like what this girl is doing? Beat her. You don't like what that person's doing? Beat them. That's it. That's it. Show up and dog every single day or take yourself to the pound. That's it. What's up?
I feel like there's a lot of girls that like say that they want to play and like,
Yeah.
like, oh, I should play over her, like whatever, but they don't back it up.
Yeah.
They're working, they're going to practice,
Yeah.
going through the motions, or barely giving effort,
Yeah.
expecting to play in the game, like they did anything in practice. They didn't come before practice. Like, it's not about like doing who could do the most.
Yeah.
But like, if you're there for a reason. Do what you have to do and do it like you have like
Passion.
passion for it.
Yeah.
Like, don't just come and fiddle around. Come early. If you want to play that bad, come early. Do something outside of coming early to practice. That's awkward, sorry.
It's okay. It's all good. Go ahead.
I kind of want to go on back on that. It seems like a lot of the times that the team forgets that they've been playing this game since they were 5, so to say.
Yeah.
They forget how to field a ground ball. They forget to see like a pitch. Everything just gets so tied up, wound in a ball, and it's like there's no want. You should want to have the ball in your hand every single time. When you see a ball come to you, when you see a ball bat down the pitch, you should want to smack it. It just feels like people get scared because they're
Yeah.
nervous.
Yeah, watch this. It's like this. It's like this, right? Ball's hit to me on a team that's got good culture, that I feel the girls have my back, that they're here for me, that I'm feeling good. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, right? Ball's hit to me on a team where we're at right now. Oh my God, if I miss this, they're gonna say something. Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, oh geez, right? I'm just telling you, that's what it is. It's a culture flex, right? It's like when I'm stepping into the batter's box and I swing, and where's my eye contact go? Did Dad see that? Oh no. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Right now, none of you trust any of you. These 5 people are together. Girl, you wouldn't believe what she did. Watch this. We finna go out there. Oh, no, she didn't. I'm telling you, somebody. This is where you're at. This is where you're at. And until you decide that you want to win, until you decide that you want to be selfless, right? Okay, you want to be selfish for the team and take such good care of yourself. I got you over here. Such good care of yourself that we all get better, right? You ever seen a floating dock?
Yep.
Right? You seen a floating dock, right? Water rises, dock goes up, water goes down, right? Dock goes down. Okay, 4 pegs hold the dock in place, right? In order for the dock to rise, right? All 4 pegs have to work, right? If there's something on one, the dock will be tilted, right? Then water comes up on the dock, okay? If something doesn't work, then when the thing goes down, it gets tilted, water comes back up, it cracks and it breaks. You have to be firing on all cylinders. All your pegs have to be working, right? Communication, intentional effort. If every single one of you came to practice every day and did not care what the other person thought, what she said, what she did, that's her problem. We're gonna stop in the name of love because that's her problem. I don't care. Girl, say whatever you want. Catch me. I don't care. That's it. In sports and in life, there's one way to win. You are relentless. You're relentless for your self-pursuit. You're relentless for your team pursuit. You're relentless for everything it is that you want. Because if you're not, you're gonna hit that brick wall and you're gonna go, oh well, I'm done, or that was her fault, or she did this, or she did that. Self-accountability, relentless pursuit of being the peg that does not support the rest of the foundation. Because the moment you find yourself going, but she, you better look at a mirror and say, but me. That's it. Because the moment you can do a little self-reflection, you are doing self-protection. You're setting boundaries on where you will not let this go because other people have an impact or an influence. If it's not making me better, it's not for me. And cream always rises to the top. The leaders always show who they are, right? We are in a psychological process, and then I'll come over here right now. Here's where you're at. You had fall ball. Fall ball is a time where we all get to skip to my loo and everything's great and we're all figuring it out and nothing matters and everybody gets a chance. We put the bumpers up on the bowling lane and everybody gets a strike. Okay? That's what happens, right? And then we come back in the spring and it's like, whew, holy cow, that was foul, move it over, right? Okay? And the psychological process of the real storming, forming, norming. Storming, when we start, leaders don't know what they're doing. People don't know where they're going. Nobody knows who's in the lineup. How hard am I working? This girl said this. That girl said that. This knack paddywhack. Here we are. Everybody's all over the place. And then as you go through that storming process, you start forming. By the time the mid-season comes around, he's really going to know who's working and who's not. Those that have fell off and said, screw it at this point and I'm done. Leaders are rising, players are playing, and that 40% in the middle is guiding whether we're winning or losing. And by the end of the season, when you figured it all out, now you're normalizing, and what you've done up until that point will depend on whether you go further. The quicker you can come out of the storming phase, conference is soon. The quicker you can get out of the storming phase, get into the forming and normalizing phase, then you get into the execution phase and things start flowing and they're good to go. The problem here is everybody wants to be top 9 now, and nobody cares about anybody but themselves, right? And those that aren't in the top 9 are creating havoc and causing problems, and some of those in the top 9 are boasting and bragging, and some people are figuring out, why is she there? Girl don't do nothing. Other people are figuring out, what the heck's wrong with coach? How could he do that? Has he seen this girl in the last 4 weeks? Oh my God, if he... Who cares? Did you hear all that noise I just made? Who cares? If I, me, wake up in the morning and I go to work and I work hard with intentional effort to be the absolute best I can be, and I'm the best third baseman, and she's the best shortstop, and she's the best second baseman, she's the best first baseman, she's the best pitcher, catcher, outfielders, supportive people, people working to get into the lineup. If we can all understand that production line and assembly and say, me being the best equals we are being the best. That's that whole me-we thing that you might see out there, right? Okay? And if I rise, if I'm the peg that supports the dock, it rises up and we become what we're supposed to. Right? So you fix these woes by openly communicating, outworking yourself. Not her, not her, not her. Who says? Somebody, you pointed and said, is it her? She was your competition, this one here? Okay, but she's not. She's not. She is not your competition, right? And if that's what you're chasing, I don't know what to tell you, right? You know who my competition is? Me. Me, that's it. What did I do today, and how am I gonna top that tomorrow? Because guess what, Larry? Okay, boy, Larry, you're a better speaker than me. You're on stages of 50,000. So what? You know how many people I were talking to this time last year? Outside of my teams and what I was creating, right? Zero, none. Never spoke to a university before. Spoke to kids going up. But you make a plan here and you say that no matter what happens, I'm going to relentlessly go after my goals, my dreams, my wishes. And the top of the mountain that he was talking about, climb that mountain without supporting other people. And it is the loneliest, nastiest, I don't want to be here anymore place. The top, look at this. right? Guy says to me, I'm gonna set you up there. I'm like, no, I feel isolated up here, right? I wanna be down here connected to people. I wanna be in the group. I wanna be working. The top is only good if when you get here, you go, hey, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Because now this is the bottom. And I gotta go to the next top. I fought so hard to get here. Now it's simple. But that's really hard. Time to start climbing. Right? And if I try to climb it by myself, slide and fall, slide and fall. I bring enough people with me, I got so much support, we're all gonna go together. None of y'all can win by yourself. None of y'all can win by yourself. And unfortunately, you don't get to pick and choose who you get to win with. It's like having a brother that you don't like. Sorry, bro. It is what it is. We gotta keep going. Back corner, go ahead.
I think we all collectively could just mind our business. Like, we are so worried about everybody else. We can easily support each other when we're being successful, but the second someone messes up, everybody puts their 2 cents in and criticizes them more, but they don't need to. We're old enough and we've played long enough that we know what we did wrong, and we could just mind our business and do our own jobs, and if everybody did their job, we'd be fine. But everyone's so worried about each other, and they're judging each other, and it's just immaturity, and like it's embarrassing because
Right.
we're not in high school anymore. And I think that like we should just be there for each other, because when someone's down, that's when they need us the most. But we are so quick to just tear them down even more for no reason at all. Like, it makes 0 sense.
Yeah, we'll treat strangers better than we treat the people around us, right? Right. So it goes back to the old, if you don't have nothing to say, you know, nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all, right? Even that comment coming out, when I make a mistake, someone is critical. Why? 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 You're literally, hold on a second, you're literally mad at what somebody did to you, so now you're turning around and doing it to other people, right? That's how you were coached, that's how you were trained, that's the love and everything that I don't know, right? But why? Because I'm gonna tell you, when you get into the real world, right? Because yes, this isn't high school, but kind of the same rules, right? Okay, but when you get into the real world, that's when all these antics change. And that's where people break off and go here, and people break off and go here, and people stay in the middle. And what you do today affects you for the rest of your life, right? If I have a calm lake and I throw a stone out in the middle of it, those ripples can go for miles on end. They're gonna go until that lake is over, or until those ripples get interrupted by somebody else. Right here.
Yo, okay. I've been holding my breath.
Well, yeah, you don't have to do that. We're all breathing. We got about 5 minutes left. Then I got to at least log on for the kids, bring them up here, and they can hear me continue to talk as long as I'm logged in there.
All right. Senior, not senior. I am a senior, but I have been blue in the face trying to build, set a standard of, I got taken out. I lost my spot. My best friend here, she's working at it. And I am cheering her on, because if I'm going to sit the bench, I'm going to sit the bench on a winning team. So whoever's in, whoever's playing, whether it's my spot, someone else in my best friend's spot, like that person, I am gonna give everything to them. Like, I am in the dugout, I am saying, hey, catch that ball out front. Like, you were a little behind in that pitch. She told me when I was playing, hey, you're letting those ground balls get too deep on you. They're getting between your legs, and that's why you're missing them. Like, we are constantly cheering each other on, and that's how it should be.
And to be clear, you play the same position and all that.
Second base.
Yep, I got you. Okay.
And I have so much faith in her. I have so much faith in Sammy at shortstop. And these girls know this because I make it known. I'm not faking it. I believe in every single girl on my team. There is no having to fake it, because we have a team full of skill this year. And it's making it known instead of talking, like she said, talking behind people's backs. Like, if you're going to criticize in the dugout when someone makes an error, fine. So, like, say it out loud, like, hey, like, she should have thrown that ball, you know? But, like, go up and tell that girl, hey, like, you had the time to throw that ball. Like, you do this, it'll make you make those plays. Help the girls out behind you, and that is a standard I'm trying to set for this whole team, because if each person does that with a person in their position, whether you're playing or not, we're set. It's like our main issue, and I just want everybody to act like that and be excited for each other and believe in each other, because there's not one bad person on our team. Our record, bad. But, like, each individual person has so much skill, and we all know it. So there's no point in like dragging each other down and speaking bad on this person because whether she's playing over me or not, she's good. She
Yeah.
can feel the ball. Like she can hit a ball in the gap, and I know that, and I'm gonna continue to cheer her on because I want to win games.
Yeah. I give you a little flip of perception just on one part you said there, right? Our record is bad, right? One more win, you're a 500 team.
Put us there. Like
I mean, well, a couple more, you're a 500 team, but you're four, you're closer, right? Math, not my thing, right? But again, I had 3 for 6, I'm like 500, no. So anyways, you're a 300 team, but you're close, right? Right? But again, 300 team in this sport, not so good, 300 average, okay. But listen to what she's saying there, right? It's the same thing, it goes in line with what you said back here, right? I like everybody. Everybody on here is likable. I don't want to have any issues, right? And she's saying everybody here is good people. Okay, so if that's where we're at, then it's literally minding your business a little bit, right? If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, right? And then, listen, I gotta tell you, like, think about it, all right? Let's do this, okay? Somebody just whiffs the ball, okay? Boom, fielding it, I don't care what position, overthrows first base by 3 miles with the bases loaded, 2 runs scored, okay? If my guy comes into the dugout and goes, oh my God, did you see that throw? It's so terrible. She just sucks. That's terrible, right? People are going to be writing him up, making complaints, doing all of these things, contacting the athletic director, saying that he's got a terrible culture, that he's making people feel like crap, right? Okay, y'all are doing the same thing. If it's a negative thought, keep it here. And then figure out, why am I feeling like this as a person? Am I jealous? Am I envious? Do I feel like I can't take them, right? Did I stop by the store and buy a nice 2-liter of Haterade, right? All that stuff, okay? What is my motivation for bringing negativity? What is the reason that I'm saying this? Why? What's my purpose? Is it gonna help? Is it gonna bring benefit? Is it gonna make us better? Are we gonna rise because of it? If it's a negative thing, it probably doesn't belong in my dugout. And it's hard, right? Because you sit there and you think, man, I'm practicing hard. That girl still has a spot. Man, I'm practicing hard. That girl still has a spot. Man, I'm practicing really hard. You see she went 0 for 3 last game? Now she's coach's favorite. Ain't nothing I can do here in order to get a spot. It don't matter how hard I work. Nobody likes me. Stop it. Right? Because here's, and I'm gonna log in after this, and I'll take yours once I log in, right? Here's the thing, right? I care. I care. Me. I'll give you a hug if you're comfortable with that, give you a high five, tell you everything will be all right, okay? But when you step onto that field, softball does not care. Its job is to beat you, to break you, to make you fall, to make you overthrow, to make you not slide in the right spot, to make you look at strike 3, to tie you up, to make your brain go, I can't, I shouldn't, I wouldn't, why am I here, all of these things. That is what the game is designed for. Otherwise, we'd play on a field as big as a baseball field. It's designed to be quicker, faster, require more mental resilience. It requires you to be able to show up every day and give the game what it deserves. That's it. And if you don't do that, it's gonna be a hard time for you. It's gonna be a hard time, and you have to find your love and your passion for the game, and then you have to rise to that passion, and you have to make yourself the best version of you. Dog it every day, right? If I'm at practice and he tells me I need to get reps, I don't care if you get 100 or 10. They all better have the same quality. That's it, right? If I step in and I'm getting 10 reps and I hit 10 foul balls because my timing was bad and I kept pulling my head and I go, okay. You're the problem. If I walk into the dugout and I look at the lineup and I see that my name's not on it, and I walk back and I go, you're the problem. That's me, just talking, right? That's the problem. You're the problem. That's it. if you approach this, something you get to do by the grace of God, right, with health and love and happiness in your soul, and you bring a negative ounce into it, you are the problem. There's girls that can't play this sport. There's girls that can't afford whatever your tab might be in order to be here. There's girls that are disabled that watch you every day going, I wish I could just throw the ball one time. And you have the audacity to come into a dugout, into a room, into a game with anything other than 100%. I am here to not only be the best, but support the best and move forward in a positive direction. Then go home. Pay for your college, figure out another way, stop wasting people's time. But if you're here, whether you've been here for, you've never played any more than 9 college games, or this is your 4th, 5th, or 6th final season, be present, be here, be focused, be motivated. Figure out what the culture is, figure out what the issues are. Go back and look at your core values. And then be woman enough to step up and go, here's the problem, here's the solution. No one's walking out of that door until we have it. Right? Make a pact. I don't care, whatever the school rules are, right? If you don't show up, you're guaranteed to be over here, right? Show up. Be present, right? I'm not going through motions for anybody. If I'm not here to be the best, go home. Or go, I don't know how to be the best. Can somebody show me? Teach me, help me, right? Be humble enough to say it, right? Admit your fears, admit what's really got you going. And then when they do that, be humble enough to accept them, give them real guidance and support, and don't shun them and, all that. All right, cool. Anything else? Go ahead.
So you talk about, okay, you gave examples, okay, you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem. How do you change the mindset of someone who knows that they're the problem or somebody you know is a problem?
Sure.
That's where that respect boundary comes in for me. Or I feel like if I were to tell somebody something, and there's been times where I wanted to speak on things, but I don't think everybody's gonna listen, and so I just keep my mouth shut because
sure.
I gotta protect my peace. But how do you?
But you're not protecting your peace. You're walking out going, right?
I mean, yes and no. Yes, because. I could say things and it could impact people at the same time. It's I don't want to get talked shit about. And I know that there's shit talkers on this team. So how do you change somebody who you know is the problem or you think is the problem?
Yeah, can't change anybody, right? To be clear, right? I'm going to answer your question, right? Everybody in. So you can't change anybody, right? I can tell you what I see, right? But all of your issues, unless it's blatant, right? If I come across, okay, I did that, you can see it, right? But the best way to handle a problem that deeply bothers you is with direct communication, right? A lot of people don't do that because they go, I don't want to cause a problem. I'd rather just keep it to myself. I'll walk out the door, everything's okay, right? But if it's me and you, and we're in a group of 30, right, it's different, right? If I'm in high school or I'm in class or I'm not on a team or I'm in a work center and I don't like this person, I don't have to interact with them. Right, but here it's different. You're every day. I'm at practice, I'm at the field, I'm at games, I'm on a bus, I'm in a dorm, I'm in your face every day, right? And the things that you're doing or not doing are gonna continue to challenge my thought process, and quite frankly, I need to hold you accountable to something. So here I go, right? I can either go, hey, do you have a few minutes? All right, cool, yeah, what's up? Now again, I know 20-year-old kids don't really talk like this, but you should. Right? You should condition yourself for real world, talk where you can communicate problem solving. Hey, do you have 5 minutes? I'd like to talk to you, right? There's a difference between going up and going, hey, listen, there's been some things going on the last couple of weeks that I haven't really been crazy about, and this is what I've seen and this is what I'm thinking. What are your thoughts about it? And is there any feedback that you have where I can get better too, because I'm trying to work where I'm at, right? Okay. Some people are not going to be receptive to that. They're going to be like, what are you talking about, weirdo? Get out of here. If you want to do something, do something. You've gotten all the information you need at that point. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't really matter, right?
Big issue, in my opinion, is there are some people that are like that, and it's like, but I know people are too scared to like say something because they don't want to get talked shit about, or like they feel like that person doesn't have that respect for them in return. And
So again,
like, you can't change it,
but again, sometimes we think we're more important than we are. You might go to that person and they might go, dang, bro, I had no idea that's how you felt. Is that how I am? Oh, you know what? Let me work on that for you, right? A person who wants self-growth, a person who wants to be better, a person who seeks out their very best self. See, me, I'm that person. I want to get better every day. When I wake up every single day, as soon as I tell my girls this every day, as soon as I put my feet on the ground, greatness just woke up. How you doing? Right? It is what it is. Does that mean I'm better than every? Heck no. I'm 5'6", can't even dunk a basketball, right? But who cares? It is what it is. My confidence will blow everybody else away because I walk in a world of self-doubt. You understand what I'm saying? So how do you approach? And if someone shows you that they're unapproachable, guess what? There's 7 billion people on this planet. They're not your audience. It's that simple, right? Because when it's all said and done and we've all moved past, there'll be 3 girls in this room that you still talk to. That's it. Okay? The one that never let you down, the one that was always there for you, and the one that you found along the way that you used to want to punch in the face. Those will be the 3 girls that you still talk to along the way. I'm just telling you because all 3 of you went through something. The rest of them were just your teammates and you move on. It is what it is, right? So while you're here and it is what it is, then we have to approach, right? Again, problem. That's what's happening in this room. Problem. It's like we can make a funky beat out of it. Problem. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, come on, we can do it. But that's what's happening in this room right now is everybody is just going, problem. It's like if it was Finding Nemo, the little seagulls, right? Problem, right? And this dude, and there's people in here going, I want to get out of the fish bowl, right? Find a solution. I'm telling you, I don't care, right? I don't care, right? At the end of the day, look, that's your error, right? Who cares? I don't care. Right? I don't care if I'm up here sounding serious, goofy, can't do math, who cares? Whatever. At the end of the day, if one person in this room goes, you know what, I'm going to show up to practice tomorrow and I'm going to go all in, guess what? Sorry for that 9th person that didn't listen to me because she's coming for you. And we got better. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, one thing that I think would benefit on this team, because coming from, I'm a JUCO transfer, like on my other team, like my sophomore year, we had 4 girls who were soccer players just so we, the softball players, could play a season. And we taught them how to play softball and went and played the softball team.
Sweet.
And then it sucked, but it was also like, no.
Why'd it suck?
It was way more fun than what this is because the culture that we had of like always cheering each other on, like small things were big accomplishments, and like everyone's always high-fiving. Oh, good throw. Oh, good play. Oh, good this. And I feel like when we were practicing, that's never really said unless it was a really good throw or a really good this. It's never like, oh, that was like, you know, there's no high-fiving. There's no at games going up to the next batter saying, dude, she just got me really good on the inside. She's throwing up today. She's throwing this. There's no communication. When we're on the field, it's frustrating to see, like, from the bench, like, you're not, like, turning around saying, hey, I got your cut on this. Or you're in the outfield saying, hey, I got your back on this. There's no talking to the pitcher. There's no cheering each other on. And like, it's frustrating to see and where my selfishness comes in because I am selfish. I came to Florida for me to play. And, like, that... I want to play, I do, but I'm also going to be the loudest in the dugout. That's what
Come on.
That's what I can do. So it's like frustrating to see that, and then also get it thrown back in your face, saying you're selfish for not cheering. Like I'm cheering everybody on. Trust. I'm one of the loudest motherfuckers in there.
Hey, come on, girl. Just like me. Right.
Better believe I want to be in the top 9. But it's like everything is just thrown back at you. There's a lot of pointing fingers when it's just like, let's all stand in front of a big mirror.
We're almost done.
Just be like, we got this together. We all have each other's backs on the field. Let's talk and let's all be like this and all have a culture that makes other people want to join.
Raise your hand if you agree with you would love that. Seriously. Right, here's that hand drill. I'm right here. Raise your hand. There she is. She paid attention, right? Seriously, if that's what you want, right, I don't see anybody that doesn't have their hand up. Okay? So guess what happens when this meeting is over? Here's what happens, right? Everybody goes, man, we finna do this. This was good. I'm in, right? Let's get better. Let's go. If you want it and you with me, let me know, right? And then as soon as we get to the door, a good portion of you go, we going for cheesesteaks? I'm just telling you. And it's that quick. And then the rest of you go home and you think about it for a little bit, and then there's a half a dozen of you that this is mentally breaking you down because you're thinking about it every single day nonstop and you want to be able to make it all right. Okay? Well, that half a dozen stop because you can't control the rest of the dozen, right? If your dozen's going to rise and the rest of them don't because they didn't have enough whatever, it's on them. You can continue to bring people forward, but you cannot carry weight. Now, here's weight you can carry. Can you help me? I want to get better. Can you help me? I want to get better, right? That's weight I will carry the whole time, right? Here's weight you can't carry. Girl, you see that? Man, I can't believe she did that. As soon as that happens, all of you should be like, "Arr, arr, arr." That ain't happening in here. Stop it right now. I'm telling you, the only way to fix it is everybody is on the same page. That's it. And the moment somebody in your dugout, in your practice, in your team says anything negative, 30 sets of eyes better be on and be like, no. We're not accepting that here. Because every one of you in the last hour and a half have nodded your head like, yeah. Okay? You have agreed to, we have a problem, we need a culture fix, we've got these issues, people need to talk up, too many people don't talk up, too many people do talk up. Okay, well, the only way to fix it is to stop, collaborate, and listen. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, it's the way it is. If you, okay, I make it funny, right, but it's serious. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Everybody has to just stop. Stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. Come together and collaborate on where we want to be. You know who the negative people are. You know who they are. So stop talking about them being negative because you're doing the same thing by talking about them being negative. And as a collective group that doesn't want to see it anymore, hold them accountable. Hold court. I don't care. Boom, you got 3 demerits. You up out. I'm joking, but I'm just saying. You all can control what you accept. You can control it. Because everybody has said, well, a person says this and a person says that. Okay. Well, that's it. If the people that they're saying it to go, yeah, you're right, stop. Figure it out. Right? Because realize when you're saying that person did this, you're saying, well, I don't know, I couldn't do it either. Because you're saying it from the dugout. She's no good.
What is he doing? You got it, girl.
Man, what a terrible error. God, you see her look at strike 3? Sure is hot in here. You got a Gatorade over there. I mean, what are we doing? Right? That energy spent here should be going, hey, man, did she see that third baseman ain't moved in the last 3 pitches? Let me go tell her that. Right? Hey, coach, did you see the 4th batter is standing right on the inside corner of the plate every single time? I know there's a lot of things going on, but since I'm here, I'm going to make my team better. And that's what I seen. Okay. That's it. Right? Pitcher. Just, I mean, we getting ready to be in it. This is Florida, y'all. You on a lake, but humidity is a thing, right? Okay, so when we get to the middle of April and May, right, the kid that's sitting here going, be the water girl. I'm not, you laughing. Okay. But if you got up and the girl that has your spot, the spot that you want, and you went, girl, you absolutely killed it. Let me take care of you. That's why we're here. There you go. Didn't even know it, right? But that's what we're here for. How can I help so that we can be better? And if I'm not here for that, what am I doing?
Better believe it.
I'll let your boy. Period, Pooh. I'm just saying, listen, at the end of the day, you know, I love coming here. I love talking to you. I'll be back here in a month. We'll do it again, right? We're going to check the temperature all season long as Coach is okay with that, right? I hold my Monday night groups where we talk about mindset, performance, teamwork, being better, right? Really focusing on the hard stuff with a bunch of 14 to 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, so that when they get here, they're some of the best leaders around. They hold themselves accountable better than anybody around. Because the reason I'm here is because I've seen over the years a huge disparity in what happens when you get here. Right? See, the problem is your whole life, everybody has told you where to be, what to do, how to show up, how to practice, what lesson to go to, where you're going, who you're with. Most of you, when you're in travel ball, didn't even know your schedule. I'll just go where Dad told me till we get on a plane today. Okay. Right now, self-accountability has hit you. No one makes your bed. No one tells you where to go. No one tells you what to do outside of be at practice. No one's standing over your shoulder every day going, work harder, be better, do this, do that. That same person you complained about that said that beat you down, that worked you so hard in order to get here, now that person's not here and you don't know what to do. How do I handle it on my own? How do I wake up every day in order to be the best? How do I rise to the top when the whole world is constantly trying to pull me down? What happens when that peg on the dock breaks? How do I support everything else around me? There it is. Say it loud. Give it to God. Right? Give it to God. Give every piece of strength and every piece of humility that you have to Jesus and God and say, I don't have it anymore. I have it because you have it, and therefore I'm going to learn from it and feel strong in it. Absolutely 100%. Go ahead.
I just want to say, like, we've all seen it happen to one of our own people, one of our own family, where we should be so grateful to still be in this sport and to have people talking kind of behind each other's backs. Like, I come in during the second group and I see someone hold someone accountable, like, it's okay to hold people accountable. Don't go around and talk bad about, oh, like, she just came and told me this. Like, how dare she come tell me this? Like, I'm doing great. Like, she's doing good. Like, I don't feel like that's how a family should behave. And coming from an outside point of view, like, that's not what I want to go up to, if that makes sense.
Yeah, listen, and I love it, right? Great point, right? And every single one of you sound like you're on the same page. We're just afraid to turn the page to the next spot. Every one of you said, hey, whether it's this side of the room, the middle, that side of the room, hey, everybody here is great, yay. Everybody here does not work to the same capacity. Everybody here talks at a different level, right? Everybody here communicates at a different level, right? Listen, it all comes down to work ethic, intentional effort, and adjustments, okay? If somebody comes to you and they say, hey, I don't like X, Y, and Z, or how can we work on X, Y, and Z, right? And you take that personal, it's on you. Now, if they come to you and they're F-bombing you and they're telling you how you gonna be and what you gonna do, we can't handle something we don't like with disrespect. Understand that will never work. You handle things you don't like and problems in the world with humility and grace. It's how it is, right? You handle it any other way, that's why they have jails. I'm just telling you. It is the way it is, right? And I'm not saying in this environment, but when you go out and you act crazy and wild in the real world, crazy things happen. So, listen, here's what I'm going to leave you with. And I said it a million times in here. You're going to get up. You're going to push in your chair. You're going to walk out the door, right? Okay, we have established a few things. We want to be better. We think people in here in cliques are a little bit too catty and should mind their business. Right? And I love that. That's why I keep bringing it up. It's a valid point. If you don't have anything nice to say, if I can't go to you and go, man, great hit, great job, great work. I see your effort in practice. I see what you're doing, right? Man, you didn't get that one, but you'll get the next one. If I'm going, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is she doing in the lineup? Did you see that error? What? Why? Right, look in the mirror and go, hi. I'm a hater. I don't know how to be happy for other people. I only want what I want for me. I should have played badminton. Badminton. It's a one-person sport, unless you get doubles, right? All I'm saying is, when you walk out the door, it's your decision to go, you know what, that was a good talk. At practice tomorrow, let's figure out how to get better. And if you're the girl or girls that walk into the dugout and talk about other people, do other things, don't give full effort, hi, we see you, peekaboo, we know who you are, right? And then the rest of you put it to an end by as soon as it happens as a collective group coming together. I take you back to the Navy, right? When a sailor was acting out, there was a few options. You could send him to the captain, right? And the captain would take him to captain's mast or get him in trouble or put him in the brig or do all of these things. Or you can go, come here, fella. Come here, y'all. Let's just go have a nice little talk over here. Hey, buddy, what the heck is wrong with you? It's time to get it together. As soon as we walk out of this room, you are now a different person. And if you don't act like you're supposed to, then we're going to start the accountability process. But none of you want to do that because all of you don't want to be what you think they are. Have a leadership group that collectively gets together, right? It just depends on if you can make it happen. A representative from every class, right, that comes together and goes, here's where we're going. Now I can take it back out to the people. Right now, you all collectively just want him to tell you what to do because you all collectively cannot come together to do anything. Take ownership of the team. Take it back to yourselves. Figure it out, right? Figure it out with communication. Again, I can give you a million exercises. Each one of you take a piece of paper. Don't write anything inappropriate, right? You write it down, okay? What is our top 2 problems on this team? If they're all different, okay, we got a lot of problems, right? But if I can put it in 15 here, 10 here, and 5 here, look, we just took this big elephant that we thought was huge and we couldn't fix it, and we narrowed it down to 3 problems. And if we can work on these 3 things, well, hallelujah, hallelujah, right? 2-7, 0 conference games. You know what that means? Who cares? Just get a big W and just who cares across. Who cares? Because I could go win every conference game, and isn't that help me? Doesn't that get me where I need to be, right? So what happened? How many games you got left? Played 9. How many you got?
41.
41. So I could go 41 and, well, what? Yeah, no, I still can't. 41. You have 41 left? So it'd be 43-7. See, math sucks. 43-7. You realize that? You literally, and everybody's like, no, we couldn't. Yeah, you could. You could literally go 43-7 if you collectively can get it together. When do we play again?
Next Wednesday.
Ah, come on, we got over a week. Stop it. I can make miracles happen in weeks. Come on. I might drive back out here and do a communication practice if I'm allowed to walk on the field. All right. So I'm going to let them go, and then I'm going to get with you guys. So that's really all I got. I do got to get to the girls now. It's 9:15. Coach, you're going to sit with me for just a few minutes. Thank you all for having me here, as always.
Thank you.